So hey guys, welcome back to this kind of impromptu video. If you guys follow the channel, then you know with the long-term Silverado test I had, I did an exterior lighting just video on it. Well, that video didn't turn out too well in terms of views, didn't seem like to have a lot of interest, but I find this interesting myself, so I'm going to kind of continue the trend here with the 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following along with the series, this is the SEL trim, which for 2023 got the lesser reflector LED headlamps and not the nicer projector LEDs. Well, I'm on the same back road that I tested the Silverado with. Now, unfortunately, it's not pitch black outside, but it is dark enough that I can kind of show you the beam pattern, the throw, and all of that stuff. Because I have some thoughts and some mixed opinions about the standard lighting setup. So take a look on the exterior of the vehicle. Of course, you have the multi-reflector LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and then you have incandescent turn signals lower on the front bumper there. I think it's a little bit bizarre that you have the LED lighting up top and then the incandescent turn signals on the front, especially when combined with the LED turn signals in the side mirrors and of course the LED turn signals in the back. I'll go ahead and turn on one of the hazards so you guys can see the lighting here. So that's the turn signal situation at the front. Coming to the back, of course you have the LED tail lamps, the LED turn signals that are currently going off, LED daytime running lights, LED license plate lights, and then you have the incandescent backup lights here lower on the rear bumper. Of course, those aren't on very often, so that's not a huge deal, although it would probably help with the backup camera quality in low light if that was an LED. But that is what it looks like kind of out back. I think it looks very nice with the pixel design. Yeah, very sharp. The back is definitely a great look to it. Now coming on the inside, the lighting is extremely good as well. Not only for the just overhead console lights, you can see they just illuminated with the door opening, but since this is the SEL, it also gets the ambient lighting, which looks amazing. It's always on. Of course, you can change the brightness, the colors, link it to the drive modes. It's a very cool setup, and one of the reasons I really do like the SEL, or of course the Limited has this feature as well. But looking at the illumination from the overhead console lights, it's extremely good. I think one of the better OEM ones I've ever seen in a vehicle. Lights up the entire space, especially when combined with this lighter seating surfaces. And then when you come out back, same thing. Ambient lighting in the door panels look fantastic. Then the lights do a very good job of just illuminating the entire cabin. There's no dark spots, except if you go like underneath the seats or something like that. But it does an extremely good job. So I give Hyundai props for that. But when you come to the trunk, I don't know why Hyundai did this, but when you come to the trunk, look what you're greeted with, an incandescent bulb only on the left side. That definitely should be a bright white LED, kind of match the interior, because you can see bright white LEDs up there. And then you're greeted to one of the only incandescent bulbs outside of the exterior ones in the trunk. And then of course the license plate lights stay on, so that kind of illuminates here behind the vehicle. I think that's actually a neat touch that I didn't realize until now. So that kind of illuminates around you. But yeah, that's just my small complaint in the trunk, that you do get an incandescent bulb. But anyways, once again, reflector, LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, all that good stuff. Now looking in front of the vehicle, there's a couple things I want to point out. So I'm not quite sure that these are aimed accurately, just because they seem like they have an extreme amount of throw and or they have some glare. Now I did look up the IIHS headlight rating on the standard headlights, and they did have excessive glare or over the threshold amount. So there's like 19 or 20% according to the IIHS of headlight glare for oncoming drivers. Now looking outside the vehicle at the beam pattern, you'll see that there's a very bright spot right here in front of the vehicle. I'd say somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 12 feet from the front bumper. Now if you go a little bit further than that, maybe another 8 to 10 feet, you'll see there's a little bit of a dead zone right here where it gets dim. And that is something I noticed while driving inside the vehicle, is that this section right here is always dimmer than this, and a little bit farther down in another 10 feet or so. Now looking at the beam pattern a little bit further, Since this is the same road, it has that reflective sign way down there, you'll see that it kind of just fades off. There's no hard cutoff like a normal projector headlight would, and you'll notice that the sign is actually illuminated right now either by the glare of the headlights or the actual main beam. So it is kind of interesting to see, and this road is relatively flat. If anything, it actually dips down right where that sign's at, so it's a little bit lower. But anyways, it's a relatively flat surface, and I just noticed that there's never a real hard cutoff. Now, sitting inside of the vehicle, I have the camera positioned directly in front of my face, so this is the viewpoint I currently see. Here's the low beams. There's the high beams. Not a massive difference, I have to say. It does illuminate quite high on the tree line, so you can kind of see the difference there. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see farther down. Low beams, high beams. Definitely has a good amount of output, but it just seems to me like the main low beam is either aimed a little bit too high or that there is quite a bit of glare with this particular setup. And if you stand kind of in front of the vehicle, I'm right where that bright spot starts to begin, about 15 feet in front of the vehicle. I notice that there's quite a bit of light coming up even to my face, where normally there would be kind of a sharp cutoff here that you can especially see in this foggy haze. Now, if I move the camera down, right here is when the two center lights, the two in the middle of the vehicle, really start to shine. And if I keep moving it down, right there is where all four are very extremely bright. So to me, it seems like they're aimed at different levels, and that might be the case to kind of project downwards, but it's definitely seems to me that like the center two are aimed at a certain position, and then the outside two are aimed substantially different. So now I do want to start driving just down the road with the camera held at my head height, so you guys can kind of see how the beam angle bounces around and everything like that while traveling down the road. There's the high beam. And I did believe I stopped here with the Silverado, so I'm going to stop right next to the sign as well. Road ends in 500 feet. You cannot see the tree line at the very end of the court currently, but then flashing the high beams, clearly see the woods at the very end of the street, right around 500 feet. Low beams, high beams. So yeah, the lights are very good. There's just some weird nuances. You can kind of see the dim zone I was talking about on the exterior between kind of right in front of the vehicle and then a little bit farther up as well. So just some weird output patterns in my opinion, especially for newer headlight technology. But again, I would probably prefer the LED projectors found on the top Limited. So hopefully this helps anyone out that might be curious about the 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5 SE or SEL lights at night. Of course, the Limited will have the projectors, which are found also on the 2022 SEL. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to make this quick video kind of consistent with the Silverado lighting test I did. Of course, that one was a little bit more in-depth, but overall, these are my thoughts and opinions on the exterior as well as the interior lighting here on this Ioniq 5. So once again, hopefully you guys are following along with the series. Let me know your thoughts on the Ioniq 5 headlights, taillights, or any of the other lighting with this vehicle down in the comment section below, especially if you happen to own one. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts on whether or not you think the lighting pattern is similar in your base car with the reflector setup, or if you happen to have the projectors, if you think they're any better or not. So let me know all of that down in the comment section below. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.